They told you to never burn bridges. They said it like it was wisdom, like it was survival, like it was the one rule that would keep your life from collapsing when things got hard. What they didn't tell you is what that rule slowly turns you into. It turns you into someone who keeps doors open that should have been closed years ago. Someone who keeps access available to people who already proved they don't deserve it. Someone who starts confusing familiarity with safety and history with loyalty. So you keep the numbers, you keep replying, you keep showing up, not because it feels right, but just in case you fail, just in case you need help, just in case the silence gets too loud at night and you start questioning everything. So you keep the bridge intact, even when every step on it feels like walking back into a version of yourself you fought to escape. Because here is the truth most people avoid. Some bridges don't lead to opportunity. They lead straight back to your cage. And the moment your life gets uncomfortable, the moment you feel uncertain, alone, or afraid, you won't move forward. You'll go back to what is easy, back to what is familiar, back to what asks nothing from you. You will call it comfort, but it isn't comfort. It's a habit. And habits don't care if they destroy you. They only care that you repeat them. Look at your life carefully. You already feel it. You stay in conversations that drain you. You laugh in rooms where you don't belong. You tolerate behavior that should have cost people access to you a long time ago. And you tell yourself it's because you're a good person, because you're keeping the peace. But whose peace are you protecting? Because it isn't yours. You are exhausting yourself, maintaining connections that give you nothing back, giving your time, your attention, your presence to people who wouldn't hesitate to let you fall if it made their lives easier. And you know it. You feel it in the silence after the conversation ends, in the tension you can't explain, in the version of yourself that shows up around them, smaller, quieter, less certain. But you stay, not because it's right, because it's familiar. And the human mind will choose a familiar poison over an unfamiliar cure every single time. There was a man named Julian. Julian was easy to be around. That's what people liked about him. He laughed at their jokes. He went along with whatever was happening. He didn't challenge anything. Every weekend looked the same. Same place, same people, same conversations that never went anywhere. At first, it felt like connection, but over time, it became something else. Because every time Julian tried to talk about something that mattered, his goals, his ideas, the life he was trying to build, the energy in the room shifted. Not aggressively. Not enough to confront. Just enough. Someone would smirk. Someone would check their phone. Someone would make a joke that sounded harmless, but landed exactly where it needed to. Not loud enough to call out, but precise enough to make him shrink. They called his ambition too much. They called his focus selfish. They called his distance arrogance. And slowly, he adjusted. He spoke less, shared less, became easier to accept, and in the process, he became someone he couldn't respect. The worst part wasn't what they were doing. It was that he allowed it, because every time he thought about leaving, something stopped him. Not loyalty, fear. Not fear of losing them, fear of what would be left without them. Because without the noise, without the distractions, without the constant interaction, he would have to face himself, the doubts, the uncertainty, the responsibility. So he stayed. He kept the bridge intact until one night, something small happened. He was talking about something real, something he had been working on for months, and no one was listening. One person rolled their eyes, another checked their phone. Someone let out a quiet laugh they didn't even try to hide. Julian stopped talking. Later that night, he checked his phone. No messages, no follow-up. No one asking if he got home safe. No one even noticing he had gone quiet. And in that moment, everything became clear. He wasn't invisible. He was surrounded by people who needed him to stay small. Not because he lacked value, but because he kept placing himself in environments that couldn't recognize it. They weren't his support system, they were his limitation. And the bridge he was so afraid to burn wasn't a connection, it was a leash. That night, he didn't make an announcement. He didn't explain himself. He didn't ask for understanding. He went home. And one by one, he removed them. Numbers deleted. Conversations gone. Access denied. No warning. No closure. Just silence. And then the real challenge began. Because cutting off what drains you doesn't make you feel powerful. It makes you feel empty. The silence isn't peaceful at first. It's loud. It forces you to sit with everything you've been avoiding. There were nights Julian stared at his phone, fighting the urge to reach out. Not because he missed them, but because he missed the distraction. Because being alone with himself felt unbearable. This is the part no one tells you. Growth is isolating. It strips away everything you used to rely on and leaves you with nothing but yourself. And most people can't handle that. So they go back to the noise, back to the chaos, back to the familiar cage, because at least there, they don't have to face who they are. Julian almost went back, more than once, but there was one thing that stopped him. He had removed the path. There was no easy return, no bridge to cross. And slowly, something changed. The silence stopped feeling like an enemy. It became a mirror. Then it became a tool. Then it became a place where he could finally build something real. He stopped performing, stopped explaining, stopped seeking approval. The energy he used to spend maintaining empty connections, he put into himself. His discipline improved. His clarity sharpened. His standards rose. He didn't try to prove anyone wrong. He just moved forward without them. And when he stepped back into the world, something about him was different. Not loud, not obvious, but undeniable. He spoke less, reacted less, tolerated nothing that compromised his peace. And people noticed. Not because he demanded attention, but because he stopped giving it away. When he saw people from his past, they tried to pull him back into old patterns. Same jokes, same energy, same expectations. He didn't argue. He didn't explain. He just didn't engage. And that told them everything. He had changed. More importantly, he had removed access to the version of himself they used to control. Now, look at your own life. You already know what's waiting on the other side of your bridge. The people, the habits, the environments that feel safe, but keep you small. You call it comfort, but it's familiar misery. And you keep the bridge intact because you're afraid of what happens when it's gone. You think losing them means losing yourself, but it's the opposite. You lose yourself by staying. You lose yourself by tolerating. You lose yourself by keeping doors open for things that should have ended. You cannot grow while maintaining a path back to your past. A bridge to a toxic life is not security. It's a guarantee that one moment of weakness will send you running back into the same cycle. So the question isn't whether you should burn it. The question is how much longer you're going to pretend you don't see what it's doing to you. Because eventually, you will have to choose between the life you say you want and the life you keep returning to, between growth and familiarity, between truth and comfort. And when that moment comes, there will be no excuse, only a decision to hold on or to let it burn. Understand this clearly. You don't need more strength to move forward. You need to remove the way back. Close it, burn it, and walk forward, without a path to return.